Can I tell you my testimony? I refused bluntly the prophetic call. I ran to the nightclubs. I refused God. I said, no, not for me. I'm not interested. I saw how men of God struggle in ministry. I saw how some of the brothers and sisters of friends who had children of the pastors struggled for not having time with their parents, for not having for the church folk messing up with the privacy of a man of God. I said, I don't need that. I saw how men of God invested their lives in ministries and they died without a thing. I said, I don't want that. I don't need that. I've got brains. I went to school. I studied. I did my apprentice. I finished it. Got married. Wanted just to be a husband and have my children and nothing else. Giving him a testimony. I messed up, refusing God's call. God messed up every plan I had about my life to the point of divorce. Lost everything. No job, no nothing. Got high in drugs because of frustration of the church and of saying no to God. You think I like this? Drinking Heineken. I did not receive the call, not enjoying it. I was still enjoying it. Captain Morgan, J.C. Leroux, Omongar Ekanyor. My children were taken away from me. Couldn't see my children for 2 years. They bluntly refused me to see my children because of my condition, because of my madness, because I was angry with God. How could you let your men die this way and you want to call me for that? I don't want that. But when I said yes, he fixed my life. He gave me custody of my children. He afforded me the things I could not afford. This Jesus. You gotta say yes to your being God. You gotta say yes to be the Son of God. He won't pay you. You will inherit everything that belongs to Him. I have a beautiful wife and we have peace that surpasses understanding. In the midst of noise and pestilence, when people say this thing that you're putting yourself in is difficult, God gives me the peace of mind. I don't understand, Pastor Apostle Solomon, when God begins to bring men who are 3 times my age to submit under me, because I said yes to His call. And then God would honor every prophetic word that would come out of this mouth. When I said no to God, and I just had to say yes, and God made my crooked ways straight. That is my testimony. You don't want to mess up with God. Now, God gave us chance. God gave us chance. Now, I've got you. Go ask Jonah. Have a little talk with Brother Jonah. He will tell you how God can mess you up. You can't refuse who you are. You can't refuse who you are. Because if you refuse who you are, you're stepping into sin. Sin is anything that does not look like God in you. Anything that does not look like God in you is sin. Poverty included. Doubt included. Lack of faith included. I love businessmen because businessmen understood God. God, He takes risks. And with God, nothing is ever wasted. You see, in South Africa, the wealth is so much. Even the waste, men of God, that we leave in a toilet is money. Because they have understood that with God, nothing is ever wasted. Your body, when you die, we plant it back to the soil. Because with God, nothing is ever wasted. Because God is a businessman. That is why I love business people, because they understand how God operates. That is why if you don't invest big, You don't take high risks like God took a high risk by bringing Jesus. You will not have a high harvest. A small risk will bring a small return. A high risk. That's why when you tithe 10%, you are giving what is due. God don't have to say thank you. We don't want to talk about that. When you tithe, you are giving what is due. It's like using electricity.